Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. My name is Ilyas Kayran. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant with RCIC number R533677. And I've been working for Sprachaw Language College, in short, SSLC and Vancouver International College, VIC, for the past 7 years. Thanks for joining us today on these important updates for everyone here, for our students, for our partners, and everybody else. So today we'll go through some of the recent updates from IRCC regarding students and study permits. So I'll just give you an overview of the changes and then how this could affect you or not affect you at all. And we'll touch base on our programs here at SSLC and VIC, and then I'll take any questions from you. If you have any questions, you can probably just raise your hand or just put your questions on the chat box. So before we start, my friend Jim here, he's just going to play a video from Honorable Mr. Mark Miller, his announcement last week on January 22nd. So we'll just recap what he said, and then we'll break things into content, and we'll go over everything one by one. There you go.
That some private institutions have taken advantage of international students by operating under-resourced campuses, lacking supports for students, and charging high tuition fees, all the while significantly increasing their intake of international students. Today, I am announcing 3 principal measures. 1, a temporary 2-year cap on new international student permits. It is the latest in a series of measures to improve program integrity and set international students up for the success in order to maintain a sustainable level of temporary residence in Canada as well. To ensure that there is no further growth in the number of international students in Canada for 2024, we are setting a national application intake cap for a period of 2 years. For 2024, the cap is expected to result in approximately 364,000 approved study permits, a decrease of 35% from 2023. In the spirit of fairness, we are also allocating the cap space by province based on population, such as that some provinces will see much more significant reductions. We'll continue to work closely with those provinces and territories to put these measures into place, as they will be responsible for determining how the cap is distributed between its designated learning institutions that they have jurisdiction over. I've had productive conversations, in particular with British Columbia and Ontario already, and we all recognize that more needs to be done to protect the integrity of our system while supporting international students. In addition, effective immediately, applicants must provide a provincial attestation with their study permit application. At the same time, the cap will not apply to students at graduate levels of studies, including master's and doctoral students. Those are the people we're looking for. Study permit applications at the elementary and secondary school levels will also be exempt. To repeat, as of September 1st of this year, postgraduate work permits will no longer be available to public-private institution models. Thirdly, in the coming weeks, we'll be announcing that open work permits will only be allowed and be available to spouses of international students enrolled in master's and doctoral programs, as well as professional programs such as medicine and law. Spouses of international students enrolled in other levels of study, including undergraduate and college programs, will no longer be eligible. To be clear, the cap will not apply to applicants within Canada looking to extend their studies, as it wouldn't be fair to prevent someone from finishing the program, nor will the cap have an effect on study permit holders currently in Canada. These temporary measures will be in place for 2 years, and the number of new study permit applications that will be accepted in 2025 will be reassessed at the end of this year.
All right, here I am once again. So you heard Honorable Mr. Mark Miller's speech there, and we'll just As I said, we have a presentation to go over things one by one, and then we'll take questions after the presentation. Okay, so let's have the presentation on. All right, it's getting ready. So the first thing the IRCC announced is that the temporary 2-year cap on new international study permits. Canada's international student population has grown significantly in the past few years. So basically, the IRCC said for the year of 2024, they are going to admit or issue 364,000 study permits for this year. And at the end of the year, they'll look into their data and then reassess these numbers and probably update it for the upcoming years. So this is the first thing. What I could say about this is that historically speaking, Canada was admitting about 350,000 international students and 350,000 immigrants to Canada. So this is kind of going back to those levels that we used to have here in Canada. All right, and then Mr. Miller mentioned that provinces and territories. So there'll be collaboration with provinces and territories. So the federal government and the provinces and territories are working closely with us, with the designated learning institutions, to come up with a number for each province. So there'll be, as far as we know, provinces will tell each DLI on how many students they could admit at least this year and next, but we don't have any information, any details on that yet. So as we hear more about it, we'll let you know. And the third point was requirement of provincial attestation. So this is important. So IRCC said now students, on top of the newly introduced IRCC regulations. So now when students apply for a study permit, each DLI needs to confirm it for IRCC, but now students are needed to apply for and get an attestation letter. However, unfortunately, there is no system in place except for Quebec for provinces, and IRCC expects each province and territory to have the system set up by March 31st, 2024. So we have about 2 months. So hopefully by then, the attestation letter, or even earlier, this could be even earlier, but we don't know it yet. Once the attestation letter system is ready, you'll all be informed. But at this time, IRCC suggests and warns everyone that you should not be applying for a study permit since you won't have any attestation letters except for Quebec at the moment. And okay, and what do we have? Restrictions on open work permits. Open work permits will be restricted to spouses of international students. So as you know, if you were to study in a public college or university in any program, 8 months or longer, or if you were to attend a private college or university, but it would be a degree granting program like associate degree, bachelor's degree, or master's, spouses would get an open work permit with the study permit holder. But this is changing. it's not set in stone yet. They said, IRCC announced in the coming weeks, this will be updated as well. So only holders of study permits, so study permit holders who are enrolled in master's and PhD programs will be able to bring their spouses with open work permits. So, but here at SSLC and VIC, that wasn't an option anyway, so there's nothing affecting us there. As you may know, in ESL studies, there was never work permit for study permit holders as well. And here at VIC, there's no PGWP once you finish your program. So there's nothing affecting us here. Exclusions from the cap. This is an important point. So master's and PhD programs or doctoral programs, as well as elementary and secondary education, are exempt from this cap. So they won't be included in the 364,000 of study permits. Moreover, for SSLC, we are excluded from the cap if you come here and study with us for less than 6 months. So this was always there. Students from visa exempt or visa requiring countries could come to SSLC and study up to 6 months without the need of study permit. So you can come with an ETA, or you can apply for a visitor visa or a temporary resident visa, and you can come to Canada and study with us up to 6 months, and still you are still excluded from this cap. So you can come with visitor visas or ETA and improve your English here at SSLC with us up to 6 months. Okay, next slide. Reassessment of permit applications. So these measures are set for 2 years, and as I said in the beginning, IRCC will look into the data for the next 2 years, and then they will change things accordingly or keep it the same. But at this time, we don't know. And okay, so okay, next slide. We have, how can you stay updated with the latest policies and changes affecting international students? So what you can do, you can go onto our websites. We regularly update all the information from IRCC. You can go to studySSLC.com or Vancouver.college, our websites for SSLC and VIC, and you can stay informed. And if you have any questions, you can always send me an email, which we'll share after the presentation. Okay. Can students study without a study permit at SSLC and VIC? And as I just said, yes, you can. You don't always need a study permit to study in Canada, especially for programs less than 6 months. So students from visa-exempt countries can easily apply for ETA, that's electronic travel authorization. For example, countries like Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Mexico, Italy, etc. They can easily apply for an ETA and come to Canada and study here at SSLC, as well as VIC, up to 6 months, and they can either improve their English or take professional courses with us. Or if you are from a visa-required country, what you could do, you can apply for a TRV, as I said, for temporary resident visa or visitor visa, and you can come here. You can come to Canada and study for up to 6 months. All right, and what unique short-term programs we offer here at SSLC? You might ask. We have, okay, where to start? We have so many. So we have general English ESL. We have specialized ESL programs. We have a unique curriculum for ESL and for our specialized programs. You can take ESL and you can take 15, 20, 25 hours ESL. You can do specialized programs such as career English, power speaking and modern media, IELTS test preparation, our pathway program, English for post-secondary education. You can come and study those. And we have many more. You can find this information on our website. You can come and study pathway to higher education, of course. We have a pathway program, which is 12 weeks in length, which is our EP program. So you can come and study for sure. And you can attend our summer and winter camps. In the summer, we have Good Time, Vancouver Good Time Summer, Toronto, and Victoria Good Time Summer. We have our Global Leaders program, where we offer this program at the University of British Columbia at UBC. So we have a variety of programs. We have family program where you can where families can join with their kids. Children 6 to 12 years old, they can come with their parents and study here in Vancouver, either in the winter or in the summertime as well. Okay, more programs and what unique short-term programs you can take here at VIC. Well, there are so many. So you can take all these courses individually, one by one. Each one of these you see on the screen are 4 weeks in length. So you can come here, you can study marketing fundamentals, marketing communication strategies, digital marketing, social media marketing, business communication. So we have global business expertise program, we have digital marketing program, and we have the customer service professional program. So all these courses are included within these programs. You can also come and study in our TESOL programs as well if you want to become an English teacher in your home countries. What accreditations do VIC and SSLC hold? Obviously, we are accredited by PTIP here in BC, Languages Canada, and EQA, Education Quality Assurance, and as well as TESOL Canada. So we have all these accreditations. I feel like we are doing good with the time. I feel like I'm talking too much, but let's get through the PowerPoint, and then we can answer some questions. I'm seeing some questions here, and of course, contact. You can contact us. You have me here as an RCIC. If you have any specific questions, if you have students in the pipeline, and if you're not sure, you can always consult with me. We have marketers and student advisors that speak your language. They help our students and our partners, our agents, around the clock. We have our accommodation and homestay managers and assistants. We continue to help our students and agents with all their needs here in Canada. So I guess I can take some questions now. Where should I start? Okay, I see one question. What does the attestation letter mean? So attestation letter is a document issued by the province or the territory, basically saying that the student is accepted to study at a DLI. So that's just a confirmation that they've been accepted in that province to that specific school. So when students apply for a study permit, they'll have to provide that attestation letter with their study permit applications. So that was Claudia asking the question. Thank you, Claudia. Sabrina asked, should I apply for study permit now or wait? If you go onto IRCC's website, study permits section, IRCC advises you to not apply for a study permit at the moment, as the provinces and territories do not have the attestation letter in place yet. So, and if you do an application without an attestation letter, they clearly indicate that your application will be returned. So we recommend you to wait until you have your attestation letter. However, I've had some students asking me the same question. If your students are or you are planning to come here for, let's say, up to 24 weeks, and if you don't want to wait, you can always apply. As I said in the presentation, you can apply for a TRV, for a visitor visa, and study here at SSLC or VIC up to 6 months. Okay, so there's one more question I see. Can you clarify it for the college courses? The visas will be capped or not? College courses. So again, the cap includes all the programs except for master's and PhD programs and elementary and secondary school students. So if you do not fall under any of these, then you'll be included in, or those colleges or courses or programs will be included in the cap. All right. If I come for 24 weeks digital marketing, can I work? Sabina asked. You need to have a study permit, but our digital marketing program is for 26 weeks actually, so that students can actually work while they study. As you know, students at our school at VIC, they can study and work part-time when they enrolled, when they come with a study permit, and if they have co-op, they also get co-op letter. So it needs to be at least 26 weeks and up. Okay, I see a question here. Is there any possibility that someone do not get letter from province? At this point, I'm not sure if the provinces will have the right to reject an application. I assume that's a possibility, but at this point, we don't know that, Silvana. So as soon as we find that out, we'll let you know. What do you recommend we do in the meantime? As most students from our region, the Balkans, apply for programs longer than 6 months. Boris, at this time, you can continue to register your students to SSLC and VIC. That's not a problem. You know, our registrations are open. You can register your students. Students can apply to our programs. However, and we can still issue LOAs, letter of acceptances and co-op letters and everything. However, as I just mentioned, it's best to wait until we have the attestation letter system in place. So as IRCC suggests, if you don't have the attestation letter, your application will be returned. So you can still apply, you can plan ahead, okay? You can apply because we have a monthly intake for our VIC programs, and we even have weekly intake for our SSLC programs. So you can still plan ahead. You can send the registrations in. You can apply to our programs for our future starts, and you can start preparing your documents and wait for the attestation letter. But I suggest you do not apply for the study permit yet. Does students who are studied for bachelor 1.5 years, I can apply for PGW for 1.5 years. So the PGWP, so there are a few changes on that as well, but technically speaking, up to 2 years IRCC will mimic the study length. Okay, so if you study 1.5, you could get 1.5 years of PGWP or longer. So it depends on the length of the program. You know, sometimes in your letter of acceptance, the study length could be 2 years, but some students finish earlier. So if that's the case, as long as they complete the required credits, IRCC might still issue PGWP up to 3 years. But again, it's case by case. So it's best to consult with your school. You know, most schools have their in-house RCICs or RCICs, so it's better to consult with that specific school. All right, where am I now? Okay. Are SSL students with valid study permit allowed to bring their kids to study in Canada's public system? If so, even language with study permits. Gabriela, this depends. This depends on the school districts. I cannot tell you that parents on a study permit can bring their kids and then they can study here for free. I can't tell you that. There are a few exceptions, and it depends on the school district. So I would recommend you to consult with the school district specifically. So I can't comment further on that. Right. So I can come up to 24 weeks and get diploma, but not work. That's true. Yes, you can come and study here up to 24 weeks, up to 6 months here at SSLC and VIC, and you'll get your diploma. But you won't, obviously, for ESL studies at SSLC, you were never eligible to work. But if you come to VIC and you just want to get your professional certificate or diploma, you want to improve your English, and at the same time, get a professional diploma from us and improve your skills, you can definitely do so. You can come with an ETA or visitor visa, come here, study for up to 24 weeks, and you'll get your diploma from, well, the only 24-week diploma right now is global business expertise. So you would get global business expertise diploma, or if you come here and study for 24 weeks, you could, that technically means 6 individual modules. You will get 6 certificates in every module or every course you complete. So there you go. All right. Can student from visitor visa apply for student visa during his stay in Canada? Okay. These are really good questions. First of all, before I go into that, maybe I forgot to mention, if you are already here in Canada with a study permit, you are also excluded from this attestation letter and CAPS. You can apply to extend your study permit inside Canada. It's no problem. If you're already, as I said, if you're already in Canada and looking to maybe extend your time here in Canada and improve your English, you can apply with SSLC, or if you're looking into going to a co-op program, you can do so here at VIC, and you can still do your study permit extensions inside Canada. So there are no changes to that, or you're not affected by any of these changes. And so for Silvana's question, Silvana, that's a possibility. There is a specific requirement for applicants to change their status from visitor to a study permit. It is possible, but at this point, I don't know if they will also need the attestation letter or they will be included in the CAP or not. But technically speaking, and it's still there, students or applicants can come here on a visitor visa or on an ETA. If they complete a prerequisite program, so that's the exception to change status inside Canada. So what technically students can do, and we've done this in the past, students can come to SSLC, improve their English, And then they can move on to our VIC, Vancouver International College. So they can, so that's obviously SSLC's language programs are a prerequisite to VIC's programs, right? Because we have the pathway, obviously, between our institutions. So technically speaking, they can do it. But again, at this point, I'm not 100% sure if those applicants are also required to get the attestation letter, or they'll be included in the cap or not. Okay. I may misunderstood. Do you mean 26 weeks college programs are okay with ETA or visitor visa? To be on the safe side, I'll just say up to 24 weeks, up to 6 months. So if you go on to IRCC's website as well, it will say up to 6 months. So if you can come here up to 6 months with an ETA or a visitor visa and study here at SSLC and VIC up to 6 months without the need of study permit. Okay. There's one more question. After graduation from master's degree in private university, am I going to be able to get PGWP? Yes, those are not affected. As far as we know, and all these information I am giving out is as of today. So things change every day, right? So and we don't have the full scale of all the changes, so it's not there yet. But as I'm only saying things that we know so far. But as far as I know, there are no changes to PGWP requirements for private universities' master's programs. Okay. Where are we? More questions? Is there any changes for extending visa applications? No. If you're referring to study permit extensions inside Canada, there are no changes to that, except for they just updated the study permit extension form. So just be careful on that. But when you sign into your portal, you would always get the updated form. So there are no changes with study permit extensions, or you can, if you are in need of a TRV, there are no changes to that. As far as I know, PGW is only if you finish the program satisfactorily, not if you left the program unfinished. Of course, yeah, you have to complete the program to be eligible for PGWP. So, or if you were saying 1.5 years, or if they quit, if it's a 2-year program and if they quit in halfway through, obviously they don't get to PGWP. Do you anticipate, and has the RCIC prepared for the heavy influx of applications following the rollout of their letter of attestation requirements at the end of March 31st? Have they, or do they expect to hire additional staff to? Again, I don't know. I guess for us, we'll all find out how it looked like once the attestation letter is in place. At this point, it's hard to predict or hard to say, but we'll all wait and see. But at this point, what I can say at this point, I guess it was 8 or 9 weeks for processing of study permits all around the world. They update this all the time, even though it says 8 weeks. Sometimes it's processed within 4 weeks, or even less. Sometimes 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on the country, depending, because each processing office has different volume, as you may know. So I guess it'll depend on the region and on the country as well. If you don't have any other questions, I guess that's all we were going to say. Just to recap, thanks for joining us here again. At this point, you can, for SSLC, you can come here. You can come here with an ETA and visitor visa. You can come and study. If you were planning to come here in the summer for 2-3 months, you can still do so. So there are no changes on that. You know, if you want to come and improve your English and study up to 6 months, you can still do so. You can apply for an ETA or a visitor visa. And in the meantime, if you want to come and study at VIC up to 6 months, you can also do that too. We're going to have another session next week. And if there are any changes in the meantime, we'll also reveal those updates to you as well. And then we'll talk, we'll go more into VIC programs next week and how you can come here and study in our schools here in Canada. All right. If I don't see any other, all right, please, yeah, we'll keep you posted. Thank you all for joining. This will be also available on our YouTube channel. It will be uploaded soon. And if you have any questions, just contact us, and we'll be happy to assist you with all your questions here at SSLC and VIC. Thank you.